What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 11, episode 4. So let me say this. We start this episode off. We see Sutton going into Crystal's room to take her coat. Okay, they left us hanging. We'll get back to that later. The next morning, everybody wakes up. They're, getting themselves together. They decided what they're going to do. Later on that day, they're going to go on a little boat ride. Because of COVID, they couldn't do a whole lot of extravagant things that they normally would probably do on these trips. Erica and Kyle are going to stay at the house. Crystal and Garcelle are going into town. They're going to go do a little sightseeing. They end up having coffee and having a conversation. Erica asked Crystal, are you okay? What happened last night? You didn't really deserve to be attacked the way you were attacked by Sutton. Are you good? Crystal says, yeah, I didn't really get a lot of sleep last night, but, yeah, I'm good. Put a pin in that, because we're going to come back to her telling everybody she good. The fact that, one, she had an opportunity to have a conversation with whoever she needed to have a conversation with, whether it was privately or not. And two, she had an opportunity to share with the ladies anything that was bothering her without Sutton being around, because Sutton wasn't there. Okay? We'll come back to that. So then, Lisa says, well, I'm going to go check on Sutton. I'm going to go check on Sutton. And she goes in, and Sutton is letting her know that she is anxious, and that, how everything went down the night before. She said, listen, maybe, I was, she said that I'm sorry, y'all. She still was seeing things her way as far as the situation with Crystal. She was like, I don't feel like I owe her an apology. I don't feel like I did anything to her. Because then Kyle came down and they told her that she was being irrational and erratic and she was overreacting the night before, which, Sutton, you did all of that. All of the above. Check. You did all of it the night before. And she was saying, well, there was a joke and I wasn't in on it. And I felt, it was giving me anxiety. She said, maybe I was wrong about the fact that it wasn't about me, but I wasn't wrong that there was something going on that I wasn't a part of. And you know what? I feel Sutton on that. And I've been there. Like, especially now when people can be sending text messages and you don't know, and there's like a whole conversation going on that you're not a part of. Now, I don't act the way that Sutton acted, but I definitely have felt like there's an inside joke that I'm not a part of, and it's not a good feeling. But they told her, well, listen, girl, you need to just go and talk to Crystal and apologize so y'all can move on. And Sutton didn't seem like she felt like she needed to do that. She didn't feel like she owed nobody no apologies. Now, while this is going on, Garcelle and Crystal are having a conversation. Again, they're alone, and they're having a conversation about Sutton and what went wrong and what, why her and Sutton seem to have gotten off on the wrong foot. I'm bringing all this up for a reason, because when we get to that, then I want to be able to say there were all these opportunities for Crystal to say some things that she waited till the end to say, but we'll get there. And they talked about the whole race conversation that that Crystal had with Sutton. And Garcelle was like, so, do you feel like that's where things went wrong with the two of y'all? And she even said, well, when you get, we're going out on the boat later on, maybe you guys can talk then. She said, and if not, it's okay. Y'all can just kind of coexist and you can keep doing what you've been doing. And I found it interesting that Garcelle didn't seem to buy into that conversation a whole lot. Like she heard what Crystal had to say, and I don't know if that's because Sutton is her friend, or if maybe how do I want to be politically correct about this? Or maybe she felt like Crystal, her experiences aren't the same. What do you think? Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think. But I found it interesting that I felt like Garcelle didn't really, I was waiting for Garcelle to be like, yes, do you understand? So you understand what I was saying, and you da-da-da-da. And Garcelle was kind of like, yeah, so, maybe you need to talk to Sutton. And I just thought that was interesting. And again, not in a bad way. Garcelle and Sutton are friends. And so she does know Sutton on a different level, and maybe she just feels the way she feels. So, whatever. So the ladies all come back and they end up going out on the boat. And it was a very nice, quiet, serene boat ride. Ain't nobody fight. Ain't nobody throw nobody overboard. Ain't nobody twerk on the deck because it looked like it was a little chilly outside. But we did have this very weird conversation that Erica was having with Garcelle about her husband and how much he loves his job and how much he loves being a lawyer and how he has dedicated his life to being a lawyer, an attorney. And I just thought that was very weird, very interesting, and very curiously placed. Anyway, then, there was this whole situation where the bird was flying and all the ladies were freaking out and screaming and hollering about the bird, the bird, the bird. And Kathy ass was sitting there and Kathy was like, so I'm the only one that's not a drama queen. Y'all just gonna run and scream and run around the boat because it's a bird. Okay. Excuse me. Because somebody fill up my vodka glass. Like, I felt like Kathy ain't give me a whole lot this episode, y'all. But Kathy was like, so I'm the only one that's not a drama queen. Y'all just gonna run around the boat. Okay. So Erica or Dorit, one of them, because they were all sitting there and they were quiet, and Sutton was sort of off to the side by herself, and so they reached out to Sutton, want to know what's going on, if she's okay, and she was like, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm just quiet, I'm okay. She was like, what you want me to do, come sit in y'all's lap? Because there really wasn't any room on the other side where they were sitting, but they did reach out to ask her was everything okay, and and all of that. So Crystal and Sutton eventually went to go have a conversation, and listen, Crystal called that woman crazy to her face. Crystal said, "Well, I mean, you're crazy. Like, you were acting really crazy." And Sutton was like, "Okay, that's not really nice. Like, you gonna call me crazy? That's not really nice." And Crystal was like, and in her confessional, this is what I was loving. Oh shoot. Can y'all hear me? I have to listen to the sound on this because my microphone wasn't up. Lord have mercy. Hope y'all can hear me, honey. But what I love is that in her confessional, Crystal was like, I can't possibly be the only person that has called her crazy before. And that's true, but it was a little rude to call her that, Crystal. It's a bit much. It was a bit rude to call that woman crazy. And she kept saying it. It wasn't even like after Sutton said, well, that's not a really nice thing to say. It wasn't even like Crystal said, you're right. I could reword that. I could word that differently. You're right. That was a little insensitive. She was just like, but I mean, you was acting crazy. She was like, I mean, you running around talking about I kicked you. She was like, but you did kick me. She was like, yeah, but come on, like it wasn't with malicious intent. You were upset because there was a joke that you weren't a part of. You weren't in the joke. I'm trying to bring you in the joke, and you kicked me for it. Like, the hell. So then Sutton starts crying, honey. She had this roller that she was using for her anxiety. And she pulled the roller out and she starts crying and she starts telling this story about how she didn't realize how much moving out of her forever home, her Barbie dream house, how much it affected her and how she thought she was okay with it at first, but that, she wasn't okay and it's really affected her and she didn't realize how upset she was and maybe it's just really getting to her. Girl, Crystal looked at her and Crystal was like, okay. And I was probably thinking the same thing that Crystal was thinking, because in my mind, I was like, what the hell does one have anything to do with the other? Ma'am, what in the world does you moving out of your $10 million home and moving into your $7 million home, what in the world does that have to do with you screaming and hollering and acting like a fool because you weren't involved in the joke and I kicked you and you tried to act like I had assaulted you or something? Like, girl, like, for real, Sutton? And I felt the same way. But then at the end of the conversation, Sutton was like, listen, can we just start over? Can we start fresh? Can we start new? And Crystal was like, listen, I'm okay with that, but we're going to have to take baby steps. Like, I ain't saying that I'm automatically about to jump back into this head first. We're going to have to take baby steps, baby. We're going to have to do baby steps. And so Sutton was like, okay, that's good. That's cool. That's fine. And that's just kind of where they were, honey. So they ended up getting back to the house. Everybody was sort of just going to relax. The Real has been real low key this season. I mean, with this episode, not this season, child. We're only 4 episodes in. But she was real low key. She went to rest. Kyle and what's the face was playing bocce ball. You know, not a whole lot. So we get ready for dinner, honey. We got dinner. All the ladies come down for dinner. Of course, everyone's dressed for dinner. Crystal doesn't show up. Crystal sends a text saying that she's just not. She just can't do it. She's just over it, and she just can't do it. So, you know, they go on, and I found it interesting that nobody went in there to go convince her to come to dinner. And Sutton, of course, was looking like, well, damn, she's not going to come to dinner, you know. Did I mention that Sutton had a pair of slippers that cost almost $10,000? Did I mention that? Was it $2,000? Either way, $2,000 slippers. Hell, I be crying over my $200 Uggs. Anyway. So they're having dinner and they're actually having a really good conversation. You know, Sutton apologizes to the table. She said, listen, I really wish that Crystal was here to hear this. She said, listen, I overreacted. There was a joke that I wasn't a part of, and I just really felt some kind of way about it. And I want to apologize to you guys. I really did overreact, and I'm sorry. Then we had to revisit the damn Denise thing again. Listen, I appreciate Garcelle, that you are not taking your foot off of Lisa's neck. But what I am not getting ready to sit here and do, I'm not getting ready to sit here and have this conversation every week about how bad Lisa Rinna treated Denise and letting Garcelle be her lone defender. I'm not doing it. Because it's like you crucifying this woman all over again, and now she's not even here to defend herself, even though she didn't do a good job of defending herself last season. But she's not even here to do a bad job of it. And I just feel like, leave it alone. Like, it happened, it's over, it's a wrap, it was last season. Let's be done with it. That's how I feel. Lisa brought up this whole thing because now Lisa's defending her bad behavior by saying, well, I know some things, and that's what added to it, and I just wanted her to own it. I just wanted her to own it. I just wanted her to own it. I just wanted her to own it because I knew more, and, you know, these are things that I will never tell anybody because I am a good friend, and when you tell me something, it stays in the vault, and so I'm not going to say it, but I knew things, and that is why I felt the way I felt, and that's why I pushed as hard as I did because I just wanted her to live in her truth. Well, hell, you might as well tell us what the hell it is now, because now I'm going to use my imagination. And I feel like my imagination is telling me is what I always thought it was, but that still does not excuse your behavior, because I told y'all last season, I believe that Denise and old girl did do something. I believe the story. I just also believe that if Denise didn't want to admit what happened, then Denise didn't have to admit what happened, and it ain't had nothing to do with nobody on that damn show. Now, I didn't believe everything that Brandy said, but I do believe something went down between Brandy and Denise. I believe that. I do. But I don't think it was exactly the way Brandy broke it down to be, but neither here nor there. That's last season. I ain't going back there either. So Lisa did apologize, and like I said, Garcelle would not take her foot off of Lisa's neck, but Lisa did apologize again, and once again she tried to explain it away, and everybody there was defending Lisa. And like Garcelle said, at the end of the day, Garcelle was like, listen, if it was true, if it was what it was, that's fine, but if you were Denise's friend, let everybody else do it. Let everybody else attack her, but not you ended up being the ringleader. Then Lisa started telling a story about Harry and a friend of his. They went out for drinks, and after they went out for drinks, his friend went and raped somebody. And then when this person went to jail, all of their friends were like, Harry, you need to support him. We need to support our friend. You know, yeah, he did a horrible thing, but we need to support our friend. We need to support our friend. And Harry was like, nope, I don't need to support him because he did a horrible thing. So we're comparing cheating on your husband to rape now? That's the same thing? Because at worst, Denise was accused of cheating on her husband and lying about it, which most people who cheat lie, but okay. Lisa, just let it go. Just stop. Just And I agree with Garcelle. Just don't tell that story no more. Don't tell nobody that story no more. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. So anyway, after dinner, they go down into the game room area, and they're all playing games. They're playing pool. They're playing air hockey. They're playing ping pong, and they're drinking, and they had a good time. Listen, once again, Erica putting 20 on 10 because she's trying to get to her whole storyline. Her and Garcelle are having a conversation, and Garcelle is talking about Erica talking about something. You look good, girl. You look like you losing weight. And Garcelle was like, no, I'm not. She said, I feel like a stuffed sausage. She said, girl, it's just smoke and mirrors. Erica was like, yeah, girl, I understand. And so then Erica goes say in her confessional, you never really know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what's really going on in people's lives. Girl, I know you're not getting ready to sit here. Once again, we putting 20 on 10. You are not getting ready to sit here and equate Garcelle wearing a good ass Spanx to you and your marriage situation. No, ma'am. No, we're not doing that. No, ma'am. So somewhere along the line, Lisa decided she was getting in the pool, and she was trying to get everybody to get in the pool with her. And nobody was going to get in the pool with her. Everybody was like, no, we're not getting in the pool. We're not getting in the pool. And she was trying to get them to get in the pool. And she was like, oh, stop being pussies. Get in the pool. And she just kept going. So finally, Sutton said that she would go get her bathing suit and she would get in the pool. And Lisa is still yelling at Kyle, Erica, and Giselle to come get in the pool. And Giselle said, Lisa, see, this is one of those situations. Take the win and be quiet. Lisa said, oh, okay. Because you were trying to get everybody in the pool. You got one person to get in the pool with you. Take the win. And they put together a cute little, like, synchronized swimming little thing. It was cute. It was a moment. It was whatever. Then later on, they all go upstairs, and they're sitting by the pool. The pool. They're sitting by the fire, and they're talking, and it's cool. And, they're just, they're just having a good moment, whatever. Lisa's going to bed because she done got out the pool, honey, and she is, cold. Sutton comes up, and she wants to have herself a little cocktail, And it's a very decent conversation, nothing major. And then Crystal comes up just as they're all kind of getting ready to go to bed. And so Kyle talks to Crystal. Now, we've had 3 opportunities that we've seen on camera for Crystal to share any issues that she may have had, any problems that she may have had with Sutton. Hell, she had a whole one-on-one conversation with Sutton. Now, all of a sudden, she comes up to talk to Kyle, and she's talking about she didn't come to dinner because she is just so overwhelmed and so exhausted because the night before, when Sutton came to her room to bring her her coat, she was naked. She fell out on the floor to cover herself because she was so shocked, and Sutton made a crack about, I don't know what you're doing down there, but I'm going to leave you alone, girl. And, like, she is sitting there crying. Like, you would think that she is accusing Sutton of sexual assault or something. Like, she was, and I'm thinking to myself, now, first of all, it was rude of Sutton to open that door without waiting for you to say, come in. That was rude. You knock on somebody's bedroom door, you wait for them to say, come in. My mama told me that. I wish I would have opened my mama's door without her saying, come in. I promise you, I would stand outside that door for 2 hours waiting for my mama to say, come in. But neither here nor there. She opened the door. I get it. You don't know these women, and you were naked, and you were in your bedroom, and it probably was a shock, and you probably were a little embarrassed. You fell out on the floor. You were trying to cover yourself. But Sutton made a little smart comment talking about some, oh, girl, I don't know what you doing down there. Because she came up in your room, you was laying on the floor naked. I mean, she may not have put all of that together and you were laying on the floor naked trying to cover yourself because of her. Because we know Sutton is a little slow. So she may not even picked all of that up. But in my mind, I'm like, girl, once again, you were acting like you are putting 20 on 10. And Kyle said the same thing. Kyle was like, I mean, you not once this whole day said anything. Like, you didn't talk to Sutton, you didn't talk to me, you didn't tell anybody. Like, it seems like you're really upset about this, and you at no point shared this with us. Like, girl. So the next day, her and Sutton talk, because Sutton goes to her, she says, listen, I want to clear the air, I want to leave all of this here, I want us to really be in a good place. And she tells Sutton, and girl, Sutton is like, huh? She was like, well, I apologize, but I was really just trying to bring you your coat. Like, I really didn't think nothing of it. It was just a little smart comment. Like, it's not a big deal. Girl, it was just a lie. It was a lie. Then a couple of days later, I didn't realize that Erica filed for divorce on election day. I think she was hoping that it would get lost in the news cycle of election day, but maybe it didn't. So next thing you know, Erica's sending everybody a text letting them know that she had filed for divorce. And of course, they are all like, did you know? Did you know? Did she tell you? Did she tell you? She didn't tell me. Did she tell you? I was like, girl. So I guess here we go. We getting ready to fall into the Erica Girardi storyline. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.